Libby, I would like to take you now to the foothills of the Himalayas.
Okay. That's not where I was expecting to go, but let's do it.
I know it's a sports podcast. I'd like you to stay with me. We are in a tiny village that is surrounded by snow-capped peaks. Standing in the schoolyard in this village is student teacher Hugh van Cuylenburg. He's 28 years old. He's in India for a life-changing experience, and he's looking at the play equipment. And when you look at play equipment, you might expect bright and colourful. No.
Fairly standard in Australia.
It's basic, it's bleak, it's broken. He also looks around the yard and can see kids playing soccer with a soccer ball they've constructed out of rubber bands.
It's incredible what kids can find to play with.
And that's it. Despite the circumstances, he's looking at kids who are absolutely stoked to be out in the playground and are having the greatest time. And he learns over his 3-month period that actually these kids that he's working with are some of the happiest he's ever come across, and so different to the children he's worked with in Australia. And it's sort of formational for him in constructing this idea of resilience and what it takes to be resilient. And Hugh comes back to Australia and, as many people would know now, sets up the Resilience Project. And what's incredible about the Resilience Project is not only does it go into schools, but it also works a lot with sport about why resilience is so important, to the point where Hugh's in demand with state of origin teams and national sporting teams on a regular basis.
And can I tell you that as a former athlete myself, understanding that secret to resilience and happiness is just so important, and something that I wish I had a deeper understanding of when I was an athlete.
This is Sportish. I'm Georgie Trickett. I loved softball as a kid. I adore watching my own kids playing cricket or doing gymnastics. And I also married into Olympic royalty.
Yes, I am your queen. I'm Libby Trickett, and I have 5 kids, and I was an Olympic medalist for the Australian swim team. This series of Sportish is powered by the Australian Sports Commission, spotlighting Australia's sport participation strategy, Play Well. It's all about creating fun and inclusive sporting experiences for all Australians, because everyone has a place in sport.
Hugh van Cuylenburg is founder of the Resilience Project and co-host of the Imperfects podcast.
Hugh van Cuylenburg, welcome to Sportish.
Thank you to both of you. I'm very excited to be here because sport is definitely my favourite topic to talk about, but no one wants to hear me talk about it.
We are your people.
Format, so this is it. I have a lot to say.
We are your people.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Yeah. No, I'm very, very excited to talk about this topic because sport is also, whilst it's my favourite thing to do now, to watch sport and just to think about sport, it's like a huge part of who I am now. Like, it's my sporting journey as a kid. And so, yeah, it's great to be here.
Well, why don't we start there? What did sport look like for you as a kid growing up in the suburbs?
Well, there wasn't much else. It was just that. It was just sport. It was every single day this is growing up in the 80s. And we were so lucky to have a really big backyard. I don't know if I told you this, but our swimming pool was so big because the people who lived in it before, the lady was training for the Olympics.
No way.
And so she got a really big pool put in. I don't know her name. I just remember that was the story we got told. It was like a 16-metre pool. In summer, I would play cricket. My memory is I was outside playing cricket in the backyard, bowling. If Dad was at work, I'd be bowling at the stumps for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
Go and have a lunch break, come back out and bowl the stumps again. And it was commentating to myself, and I was always myself, but playing for Australia. And I, like, tall gum trees, sun piercing through, the sound of cicadas, like Australian cricket hat on, and I'd go in and watch a bit of cricket, come back out and bowl again. And it was like, I don't know if I've reached that level of happiness. It was just incredible. There's long swimming pool, so I'm in the pool doing laps thinking maybe I'm an Olympic swimmer. I don't know. I mean, I reckon Mum and Dad could have told me pretty early I wasn't going to be that.
That's not for you, Hugh.
No, definitely not for me. But then, and winter was playing football or basketball in the backyard. And then football, and then it was athletics, and it was just my whole childhood. It's all there really was. And it's all I ever wanted to do was be an elite sports person. It was my dream till I was probably 22 years old, I think.
Wow.
And so sport as a kid, it gave me, and I'm probably jumping forward a bit, but the two things I think now it gave me was confidence and a connection. I wasn't a confident kid. I was very shy, but being reasonable at sport, I went, oh, I'm good at something. And I was lucky because I feel like being good at sport is something that we value here in Australia.
Yeah, big time.
It was like my currency at primary school, but then it also connected me all the way throughout my life. I was reflecting on the way here, my groomsmen were, well, apart from my brother, but my friend Tim, who I played basketball with from the age of 12, football through my teenage years, cricket through my teenage years, Al, who I played footy with for 5 years, Elias, who I played cricket with for 10 years, and Chris, I played cricket with for 15 years. So it was sports what's connected me.
How do you feel like, obviously that connection has shaped you into the human you're now, but how do you feel like that kind of shaped the trajectory of your life?
To play cricket and football and basketball as a kid in teams, I think you automatically, it teaches you humility, I think, and it teaches you really nice things around how to get the best out of people around you and how important it is that the people around you are the best that they can possibly be. And so it encourages you to look out for other people and be there for other people. I mean, I think back to cricket games. I mean, I laugh about it now, but back then, if you're playing a cricket team and someone's batting, you treat them like a pregnant woman. Like they will come in for tea break and like, now what can I get you? Sit down, put your legs up. You need to rest. I'll get you a towel. Do you want some? I'll get some sandwiches. I think you need some sandwiches. Don't do it. Like you just look after the people around you because you want them to do well. And then when they do well, the joy you get from their success, it's actually more than when you succeed.
Yeah.
And so I think it teaches you this, and that's from such a young age. Like I remember playing cricket and being out in the field as a 12-year-old and the coach saying, really important you encourage so-and-so when they're bowling. Like make sure you cheer for them when they're bowling. So you finish bowling and then the coach might say, I reckon you could have cheered more for encourage them more while they're bowling. And so from a young age, it's just like do everything you can to make everyone around you really good. Now in my life, whether it's on the podcast or the Resilience Project or with family, I hope that's what I continue to do is like do the best to make everyone around me as good as possible and make their life as good as possible. And because that's what you do when someone's not out and you need to make runs.
Yeah.
Hugh, I've just been telling Libby this story of you in the Himalayas and watching kids playing in a yard. And I'd love to understand what you saw when you saw kids playing on really old equipment that was broken and what you learnt from working with these kids in the Himalayas.
I remember being in the Himalayas and leaving school on the first day, and one of the kids called out to me, and because I was wearing a cricket T-shirt on my first day, I found this T-shirt it was Rahul Dravid T-shirt, the most ridiculous T-shirt that I bought in India that was just, there was such a cheap T-shirt that actually printed it backwards. So he was batting with his wrong hand on the T-shirt. So I just thought it was funny. So I bought that T-shirt. And they knew they liked cricket because of, and this is in India, and people really like their cricket in India. And they asked me to come and play cricket. And the bat was a branch from a tree, and the ball was hundreds of rubber bands just wrapped together. And when you do that, it forms the shape of a ball. It's very bouncy, and it lasts about 15 minutes before it just explodes and unravels. Or if someone really hits it hard, or they connect with a small bit of the branch, the ball, and they have to sit down and build their ball again. But I remember playing where we played it was about an hour after school in the Himalayas in the desert. But it was, having played cricket from the age of 6 to 36, I think it's one of my most memorable moments ever playing cricket was with these two boys. And they were loving it as much, if not more, than I would playing back home here in Melbourne. And it was the cricket, like simplified, it's hitting a ball, like hitting a ball as far as you can. Yeah. And it's much harder with a branch from a tree, but so when you do it, it's like exactly, even more joy. So that was part of the whole experience that really moved me to spend time with these people who had so very little. I mean, if I gave my son a tree branch and rubber bands for a ball, he wouldn't go down too well. But these kids are going, how lucky are we? Like we can play cricket. They were just so full of joy, and that was a big part in what I think moved me to want to return back to Melbourne and then start talking about things that we can do to experience joy a little bit more often.
And from that, kind of the Resilience Project was born.
Yeah.
and those concepts of gratitude, empathy and mindfulness.
Yeah.
What's been the ripple effect that you think has happened through introducing those resilience concepts into the community sport and into schools as well?
Yeah. I mean, what's happened in schools is for a long time it was anecdotal. It was schools saying, yeah, this is really great. The kids are. And then earlier this year, we found out through a 3-year evaluation from Monash Uni that chances of depression in resilience project schools decreased 46%, and chances of anxiety sort of decreased by 34%. So that was like, to see that, it was just a really proud moment, because our team is incredible and they work so hard and they're so driven by helping young people. We do about 1,200 schools around Australia each year, and I think in 2015 I went to every NRL club in the competition, to Matildas and to the Diamonds and to the Australian cricket team, and felt like everyone, the A-League, and I felt like everyone had seen this presentation, but I couldn't. Everyone had a very different response to it. So some players discovered meditation for the first time, they'd heard of it, but they wanted to try it for the first time. Other players had some strategies to deal with performance anxiety. Some players maybe just enjoyed the stories and didn't get much from it. Apart from that, I don't really know, but it did seem to be quite popular. And then it just became, I couldn't do that in the schools. And I just felt like, as much as I love sport, and I felt like I was kind of living out a childhood dream being in their sporting clubs.
100%.
Except for the Australian cricket team. I got way too nervous for that. That was too much. I did a terrible job with it.
You are obviously a cricket tragic. We've kind of established that pretty substantially.
Yeah.
But your current obsession is athletics and running fast.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I assume. I don't know.
I try
much.
to.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely trying to, Libby.
Are you struggling to understand?
I'm like, I don't really understand athletics. You run fast around a track.
Yeah.
Yes, great. What does that do for you now as an adult? Because you're obviously a very busy human.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful wife. You have 3 lovely kids. Like, what does sport do for you now?
There's so many ways I could answer that. But I mean, this year, for example, the challenges of parenting a child on the spectrum, maybe more in our family, we don't know yet. But my own ADHD diagnosis that we've chatted about.
We've chatted about
that.
Because same.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Welcome to the club. We never turn up to meetings though. We're always late anyway.
I get it.
And then I experienced shocking burnout. I wouldn't have got through it all without track. There's no way. I just feel like it's almost petrol. Like I feel like when my tank is empty, I go to the track and I like fill up with petrol, and I can go, oh, I'm good now. Which is ironic because you're draining you're emptying the tank. But emotionally and mentally, it just, the feeling of getting better at something in your mid-40s is a really nice feeling. And for me, when I look back on my primary school years, athletics was this thing that sat there that I didn't know you could do away from school. I thought it was like only a school thing. So whenever it was athletics time, I loved it. And then when I was in year 11 and year 12 at school, I did quite well at it. In fact, I've been saying this for quite some time. I could be wrong, and I'll mortify if I got this wrong. But in 1998, I ran 100 metres in 10.78 seconds,
seems fast,
which someone said meant you could qualify for the Olympic trials for Sydney. And then...
And no one told you?
No, I got told at the time. I got told at the time.
Please tell me they told you.
No, they told me, and I remember going, I'd have to miss cricket, and I'd have to miss...
that's so
and I'd miss exams, which means I'd have to do the year again. I'll never get in the Olympics. Like, it was never going to happen. But I wish I could now say, well, I was at the Olympic trials. So,
well,
yeah, I was at trials, but... I didn't need to drop that story in, did I? No, just answering a question.
Interesting that the first thing you thought was, oh, well, I'd miss cricket. Like, despite being so good at something, maybe it wasn't the thing that you loved at the time.
Yeah, but I wish I had just thought about that, because the feeling of running fast is nothing like it. And as a kid, whenever someone new came to the school, first question was, do you want to race? I just need to check that I was still the fastest. I was still the fastest in not in year 12, just to be clear, but like as a primary school kid.
I don't believe you.
It was such a
17, 18-year-old.
I had the podcast now. Just have a quick race. No, I just...
Your guest walks in, let's race.
Didn't do that with Peter Bowl. Okay.
Good call.
Yeah. But I've just loved running fast. And obviously as a 45-year-old, I say fast in inverted commas, because it's like, it's probably not that quick, but it feels fast at my age. And that, we had a day last year where we did 2 episodes in a row, and both of them were so heavy. And we're all, one of them, the second one was Brooke Blurton, incredible, wonderful person, Brooke Blurton, who told us her story from the heart, and it was so heartbreaking. And we all sat around stunned. The whole team, was about 6 of us sitting around stunned after she left, after 2 very heavy episodes. And the next morning, we all came in and a couple of teams said, I'm really struggling after yesterday. I think I need to go and get some kind of 2 people from the team, Josh, my brother, and Bridget, our incredible producer, and my brother's incredible. They both signed up for mental health resilience course off the back of it. And I was thinking, gosh, am I not empathetic? Because I'm fine today. And I realised it's because I went straight to the track afterwards. I did a 2-hour session. And in that process that I just put myself through hell and back on the track and went through it all, thought about it deeply and reconciled it and sent you this long message afterwards. And I don't know, it helps you through.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if you feel this is swimming. I'm sure you probably do. But when I turn up to the track, I can sometimes be flooded with negative thoughts and self-doubt and issues. And then once you get into the session, they disappear.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the session, you're flooded with positive thoughts and solutions. That's kind of what happens to me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I would say it's helped me get through. I don't know where I'd be without it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Hugh, you mentioned before that you've got some neurodiversity in your family. How do you think sport can help kids who are neurodiverse connect?
So our child has struggled for the first, particularly when I started school, they really struggled. The challenges were they were at school for about an hour a day and was highly distressed, and found a new school where they really fit in, made some really nice friends, and then they said they wanted to play basketball. And I thought, I just don't know how it's going to work because they'll get pushed over, they'll get the ball in the face, or they'll lose, or they'll miss a shot. And at this point, they weren't coping too well with setbacks like that and found them very confronting and very dysregulating. But they were so keen. And the other thing is, I think one of their gifts is sport. They're so talented, this child. And so I thought, well, we'll do it, but we're going to last 5 minutes and we'll be going home. And I was prepared for 5 minutes.
Always
I told
set
the coach.
Expectations low.
Yes, absolutely. I said to the coach, just so you know, I think we might be gone pretty soon. And they got through the first game. There was tears afterwards because I think they'd lost. But I don't think that's too unusual. Second game, the opposition coach was really loud and very scary. I was finding the coach really her to be very scary and very full on. And that really our child was distraught for about an hour afterwards. But they kept coming back and playing. And then now, I mean, not that it matters, but they score a lot of points and they get so much joy from that. And the confidence I've seen in our child directly off the back of sport. There's a bit of a cascading effect, like school got them confident enough to have friends, and these friends had them confident enough to play sport. But now they're playing basketball. They're a totally different child, and it's the confidence they've got from. I remember my best friend Al sent me a message saying his son's a very gifted sportsman, and he said the best thing about it is the confidence that they take away from the sport into other areas of their life. And I remember thinking, I said, "Oh, that's really nice." But as I wrote that, I thought, well, that won't be the case for our child. It's very different for us. But he was so spot on. The confidence they're doing things now that a year and a half ago we never have thought they were doing. I think basketball is a very big part of that.
Hugh, what is it about building resilience at any level of sport that helps us in how we live our daily lives?
Well, I think if you look at like our child as an example, they finished in the bottom half of the table, which means they play in the bottom half finals series, which didn't bother them. That's the finals and the finals, and they got through the grand final. And a few of the parents, one of the boys said, "I've been waiting for this moment my whole life." Penny and I were having a chat about it, just saying, and one of the other mums was chatting about it, saying, how are they going to cope if they don't win? And I was thinking, oh my God, they're going to be shattered. But then I remember thinking, no, this is one of the reasons you play sport, because this is how you learn how to miss out. And this is how you learn that things do not go your way. It's how you learn that things aren't fair.
Yeah.
Cricket's a great example. Cricket, unless you're Steve Smith or Pat Cummins, you fail most of the time. You fail so often as a cricketer. It's just, if you play 15 games for the season, you might, as a bowler, you might take 5 wickets once or twice, and you'll go, I've succeeded once or twice for the whole season. 6 months pre-season, 4 months season. I had 2 good days. Cricket is just, and batsmen will maybe they're given out when they weren't out first ball of the day, they would just sit and watch for the entire day. Like that is
sounds awful.
Extreme. That's why you get so nervous when you go out to bat, because this could be the greatest moment of your life, but it could also be you could be sitting watching the rest of the day. Yeah, but like but those things happen to you. You fail through playing cricket. I could directly, for every sport I played, you could directly correlate something of an important lesson, and failure through cricket for me was a huge one.
You spoke really beautifully about team sports, which kind of set off a light bulb in my head that I probably hadn't had before as an individual athlete, because Georgie and I talk about it all the time. I don't understand team sports. I don't get it. Yeah. I want to be the person doing the thing.
Yeah.
And so I would love for you to kind of, if you can, articulate the difference that you experience through team sport and now as an individual athlete.
Okay, so now what I get from individual sport is I so desperately need time to myself, so desperately. And I get that every time I train for a couple of hours, headphones on or no headphones, I'm just by myself. Absolutely no distraction. My phone's, well, it's near me, but it's playing music and that's it. So there's that. I think it's taught me specifically to take more responsibility. I mean, when you're in a team sport, you have a coach who's saying, so guys, we're going to be in the field all tomorrow. It's going to be 38 degrees. Can you try and drink this amount of water, try and get to bed by this time, eat this food? And I know you do get that at your level, I'm sure you have that kind of coach.
Yeah. And
so I think what you get from individual sport is when you finish that sport, there must be a huge amount of confidence in, I make big decisions, I make high stakes decisions. I follow through on stuff because I have to. Like if I don't do this, no one's going to do it for me. There's nowhere to hide. If I haven't done the work for my 400 metres when I go to the store gift, I can't rely on someone else having a good day. Like in team sport, I can't go, well, I had a beer last night because I know we've got so-and-so on our team and she's so good that she'll probably like do this and we'll
She'll
win.
Be great.
Yeah. So there's absolutely no hiding. And I think with no hiding comes you take responsibility, and if it doesn't work out, then you have to then go back and the only person you can really blame is yourself. And I think I've found for myself that's been a really important thing because I can only blame myself and because of that, I can only get better.
Yeah.
But the lessons you take from life, I think, are to, if you want to be good at something, you need to put in the work yourself and think holistically about it, not just I'll turn up and bowl and I'll bowl where the coach thinks I should bowl, the captain, I'll bowl when the captain says where they think I should bowl. But as an elite, as an elite athlete, and an individual athlete, I think you learn so much about. I think you would grow up very quickly. Is what I would say.
We've spoken a lot about the athletes, but there's also lots of roles that sit in and around sport that are equally as important. Can you tell us about Beefy and why he was so crucial to your cricket club?
I mean, you can scrap everything I just said. This is sport. To me, the Beefy story, this is the beauty of sport. So I was a teacher back in 2007, 2008, and I was teaching a kid who he was a year 12 student. He had cerebral palsy, a condition called hydrocephalus. I think that's pronounced too much fluid on his brain. So mental and physical disability. And I still, the first couple of days teaching, I remember thinking, I've never met him like this before. He's extraordinary. Like his love for Collingwood Football Club was something I never experienced. He could remember every single score. If you said to him, Beefy, round 3, 2001, he would go, yeah, we played Brisbane away. We lost by 2 goals, but the score, he'd tell the exact score. Like just this incredible, it was amazing. But he became a cult figure very quickly in our class, and everyone just loved him. So positive and so optimistic, and always saw glass was always half full. Made everyone laugh so much. And I was playing cricket at the time. I was cricket coach at Melbourne University Cricket Club, a Premier League club not too far from here. I just wanted to get him involved in our club. I think this would be great for him. It also selfishly be great for us to have someone like this around. I was thinking, I don't know what job we've got. We don't have any money, being a local cricket club, but I still had enough money for a water boy, and so I just said it flippantly after class one day. I said, do you want to be a water boy? And his face went so serious, and he said, don't talk shit. And I said, I'm sorry, I didn't want to. And he goes, no, that is my dream job. And
wow.
Great. And he goes, I'll be there next week. I said, it's pre-season. You need to run water. He goes, no, it's important. I need to do pre-season as well. So a week later, he's at training in the middle of winter. We're doing fielding training and running, and he's running around with water bottles for everyone. This is in 2000. Oh, if I get this right, I think that was in 2010. He's still doing it now. I saw a photo of him the other day at the club, and then he loves sport. He's very passionate about his sport, and he said to me one day, I wouldn't mind giving we'd had a really bad weekend. Everyone was sulking. That's right, we were sulking around the club, and he said, bring him in. And I said, what do you mean? He said, just bring him in. I said, what for? He said, I'm going to have a chat to him. And I went, okay. And so we brought everyone in. He just gave 50 of us the biggest spray I've ever had for sulking, and just like how lucky you are to be able to play. I remember him saying, I'd give anything to be able to play cricket like you guys can. And here you are sulking because he lost a game. And from that point on, every single Thursday night, he'd give a motivational speech.
Wow.
He ran out of material pretty quickly. He just swears at us a lot. By the end, he's swearing heaps. But yeah, he's still there now. He's like, he is there. If I turn up on a Saturday, he will be there. He's got multiple jobs now. And then Uni Blacks, the football club that play, they heard about him. He's now involved at the club there. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I feel quite confident that both clubs have been the biggest highlights in his life behind Collingwood. He's loved. It's his family. He's got a great family, but away from family, he's got this place where he belongs. He doesn't play, but he loves the sport, and he just loves being a part of it, and everyone loves having him there. So that's sport to me. Like there's the elite stuff, which I never got to, but I do look back on my time in sport, and I think about the people, and I especially think about the people who didn't play but were there every single day. All sports have got these people that are just there and they belong, and that's what is so beautiful about sport.
What do you think the other players learnt from Beefy?
I think they learned about it's like it was diversity. Like it was. This is a Melbourne University cricket club where a lot of the players. It's a very different sporting club to anything I've been a part of, because for a long time you had to be studying at Melbourne University to play cricket at the club. So we had a whole lot of lawyers and physios and doctors and surgeons, and that's not really common at cricket clubs. Cricket clubs, there's a huge amount of diversity, and then they took that rule out when I started playing, and all of a sudden there was a little more diversity in what people did, but then also where they came from. And then Beefy was just a big part of that. And it was just like, I would see younger players come into the club, age 17, 18, 19, incredible young talent who were all destined wanted to play for Australia. That was their dream. And then they're getting abused, they're getting sworn at by this kid with cerebral palsy, who's just saying that's not good enough. And you could see him working out and going, that's really special. Like this is, it's like learning how to get along with people who are not like you.
Hugh, what do you want your kids to get out of sport?
I think friendship. So I think of our second child who has just discovered cricket, and they're really good at it. But I think they've decided it's not their thing because the older child, who is neurodivergent, I think they're so used to making accommodations and sacrifices for them. They see that this is cricket at the moment is their thing, so they're sort of taking a back seat with it. But I look forward when the time is right for them to when that child's at school and I can spend time with them at home, just them playing cricket. I think I hope that it leads to all those things that we've spoken about, friendship and connection.
And the Olympics. No.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. That would be.
I'm just joking.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, I say that too, but
no, but it's also like to experience success, of course.
Yeah.
I've noticed watching my child's team. I really want them to win, and I'm thinking, gosh, what's that about? Why am I? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's good for them to lose. Why do I care so much? And I think it's just because you want them to experience success because it's a lovely feeling. So I hope my kids, I hope they play sport because they don't have to, but I hope they do because friendships, same for me, connection and confidence.
I mean, I'm teasing because I get asked all the time whether I want my kids to swim.
Yeah, I mean, that's
all the time.
Do you want them to?
I mean, the bad angel on my shoulder. It's like, absolutely. Like, if I could, wish my kids onto the Australian team, I absolutely would, because it has literally given me everything that I have in my life, including my husband and now my 5 kids. Yeah. And I also recognize that that's not how it works. And actually, the thing that I got from swimming and from sport is, again, connection, confidence, trust in my body, all of those beautiful things that we talk so much about and that we've been talking about through all of these conversations, is that connection to something bigger than yourself.
I think it's going to be that's going to be an interesting thing for you to negotiate at some point, because the pressure of if they decide to swim.
I know. I'm already having it with my 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a good little swimmer.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you're a great swimmer. You're going to be just like your mum or your dad, because we both swim, obviously.
And the pressure that puts on.
And I've really had to have active conversations with her about saying, people are going to start saying that.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want to do. If you love it and you enjoy it and you want to do it, I will support you. If you don't, there's no, you can do whatever you want.
Gosh, so lucky to have you as a mum, because I just think how easily it could go the other way. Any type of pressure to be, I'd really like you to do what I did, would just be so difficult.
You must swim.
Yeah, get in the pool.
Get in. Thankfully, I don't do that yet.
No, you're not that mother.
Or I did a while ago, but I stopped
just calm down now. Yeah.
I've calmed down now.
Hugh, you've spent so much of your life playing cricket, but you're not playing it at the moment. Is there a chance you'll return to your favourite childhood sport?
For some reason, I can't handle the thought of not being good at it. I can't handle the thought of bowling to someone who I know is not very good and them hitting me for 4, because I can't handle that. Like, I retired, we won a grand final, and that was my last game I ever played. I feel like I bowled quite well then. That's my final memory of cricket. And I don't want to ever play again, because it won't feel. The only exception will be if my child, and they now have the cricket bug, and it's just been bowling in the backyard nonstop, which has brought me so much joy because they're quite good at it. And if there was ever like a father-child game, if there's ever if there's ever
like a reunion match, where
where
the dads are playing the kids.
Yeah, I would play with them
and smash them.
That's beautiful.
Because they're children.
But here's the thing. I wouldn't bowl. I'd say I'm not bowling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so
I'll bowl my
funny.
last ball. I don't want to. I would bat because that's fun. But I just something weird I need to work through. Maybe with my psychologist. I still have nightmares all the time that I'm bowling and the wind's so strong that I can't get the ball to. I still have that dream all the time. Yeah, it's this recurring nightmare. So yeah,
it's so funny because my recurring nightmare is missing out on gold by 0.04 of a second.
Is it really?
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
Okay.
that actually happens.
But that would make
was
sense
nightmare
if it was.
in real life.
Yeah, okay, you've lived that for real life. No, mine aren't as severe as that. I got so much in cricket, but I think I've played every second that I had in me. And it would be really nice if one of my kids does play cricket. They don't have to, but if they did, that'd be nice, because I'd like to watch them fall in love with the game and fall in love with the friends and the connection. And I'd love to go through it again with a different group of people, but as a dad. Yeah. Because my dad used to watch me. He was there all the time, and he was a wonderful parent. He was never overbearing. He just watched and I'd love to experience that the same way that my dad did, and my mum as well. So, yeah.
That was absolutely incredible. I could have kept talking for a whole nother hour about sport with Hugh.
He is just able to articulate what sport means.
Like the feeling.
The feeling like when he was describing being in his backyard and that summer scenario of playing cricket. You can connect to that idea of those moments in childhood. And I loved when he was talking about sport in that way, that it creates that confidence and connection, because that's something I deeply feel sport brings to everybody in different ways.
I love the part about what sports means to the neurodiverse community and the opportunity we have with sport to create an environment where kids who can struggle in school settings and can struggle in everyday settings find a place in sport. It's probably been happening organically for many, many years, but the more we can create that environment that accommodates, that is inclusive, that is responsive to kids' needs, the more we can help these kids build that confidence that's so important for every aspect of life.
And it's not just that neurodiversity, it's all abilities, right? You know, the story about Beefy and, he couldn't play, but he could be part of that team and he could make a massive impact on that community. This series of Sportish is powered by the Australian Sports Commission, spotlighting Australia's sport participation strategy, Play Well. It's all about creating fun and inclusive sporting experiences for all Australians because everyone has a place in sport. You can find out more about the Play Well strategy at ausport.gov.au/playwell.
This series is produced by Dead Set Studios and hosted by us, Georgie and Libby Trickett. Thanks to executive producers Sarah Dabro and Kellie Riordan, producer Luci McAfee, and production manager Anne Chesterman.
Sportish and the Australian Sports Commission acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land of which this podcast was made.
We recognise the outstanding contribution that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people make to sport and celebrate the power of sport to tell stories and promote reconciliation.